Hello, everyone. This is Johnny G. Farias again here at Community News. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the listeners, the viewers that are out there today. Today we have a guest, Cristobal Padron, Chris Padron, if I may call you Chris.
Absolutely.
He's here today. He's running for judge. And just as I was at the judicial forum last week, it's very important for us to know what judges are. So, Chris, thank you for coming in. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
And you look sharp with your suit there.
We got a lot of events today. I got a couple interviews today, and then I have another forum in the evening. So.
Okay, yeah. Campaign seasons are very busy.
Yes, I feel like the Lincoln Lawyer. I feel like I'm working out of the car,
which is a good show, by the way. I like the Lincoln Lawyer. My son's a lawyer, by the way.
Awesome, fantastic.
Yeah. So, Chris, you're an attorney. How long have you been an attorney for?
I've been an attorney now going on 15 years. So it'll be 15 years exactly in September.
15 years, and can you tell us a little bit about your link to as far as an attorney?
Sure.
The good ones, the bad ones. Can you mention some?
Right. So I started off back in 2011. Right. That's when we were going through like the foreclosure debacle. I was in court every day from, again, leave my house at 6:30 to be there before 8 to be ready to present cases for sale cancellations and master foreclosure calendar. And then from there, we'd go to summary judgments. And then a lot of times I'd have to go to Broward and do the cases over there too. So I wouldn't get back to the office till like 5 or 6 o'clock. And then I would just start seeing clients, right? It was like that for a long time because a lot of people were losing their houses. I was in bankruptcy court sometimes. And then I transitioned to more civil practice, like lawsuits involving corporations, breach of contract, evictions, landlord-tenant disputes. Both for tenants and against and for landlords. I've done commercial evictions, but I wanted to get some passionate about something, right? Like again, I feel like we're put on this planet to do something good, right? So we have a purpose to accomplish, and I fell in love with family law, right? It's good people in kind of a dire situation, mourning the loss of their relationship, the loss of that dream, involving children, right? The most important things to me, my family are my kids. Right, so I have 3 boys, and I wanted to do something more meaningful, and I found that in family law, and that's what I've been doing for a very long time. I know you used to do guardian ad litem work. I do guardian ad litem work. I represent both men and women, and I've done well over 3,400 family law cases, over 400 trials in family law, and over 24 appeals. Well, 24 appeals now. I'm starting 2 more. Well, maybe at the end of this week. We'll see. We'll see how the judge rules.
All right, so you've been in a lot of different arenas in the law, and family law was your calling.
Yes, I think it's the best area, honestly. It's the widest area. You have the most case law. You touch everything: real estate, securities, retirement, banks, stocks, bonds. You have psychology issues with the people, the children, right? You have a lot. There's elements of criminal law with domestic violence and interspousal abuse, right? Things like that.
Well, I'll tell you, and I want the audience to understand that anybody that does guardian ad litem work, you got to have there's a special place in my heart for them because I've done it, and it's something that's very humble. I mean, you got to be there, and I know you know what I'm talking about. You understand,
right?
You know, it's something that because it's you're appointed by the courts for children that get removed from their homes for whatever reason they get removed, and you're acting as their guardian. Me particularly, I took time to go to the daycares, the schools. I was very involved, but that's just my personality. When I do something, I get very involved in it, and even till this day, I still keep in touch with some of them. They're grown now. Some are young adults, and it's a great feeling. And coming from a divorced family, because my father did divorce when I was 9. I know that it's difficult, and family law for me is good, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
That's the reason why me and my wife now we're married. We're going to be 37 years this September.
Amazing. Well, it's actually my anniversary today. We're actually
happy anniversary.
20 years married, together 25, right, since high school. So
hey, after 20. You're good.
I tell people that she's like I don't see her as my wife anymore. I see her as my blood, as my family, right? It's me and her versus the world, right? So it's really it changes, and then you have different areas where you start growing, and you thought one thing and you started, and then you transition, and the beauty of it is that you grow together. So I like it. I'm super happy about it.
That the grow together thing is absolutely correct. And not that I want to get off the subject of the show, but yes, after 37 years, in fact, everybody always tells me, Johnny, how you do it? Easy. I told them it's easy. It's yes, babe, whatever you want, babe, anything you want, babe. That's it, and you'll make it. and they always say, okay, so now I know what to do. But anyway, congratulations on your 20 years and 25 years knowing each other. Happy anniversary to Mrs. Padron. And it's also my brother's birthday. So Angel, I know you'll be watching this soon. Happy birthday. So after 15 years in law, why judge? What made you want to say, you know what, I want to be a judge now?
I got to confess, the first time I ever appeared in front of a judge, I wanted to be a judge. All right. I just saw good judges at work, and you could see the impact that they have on people's lives. And good judges do phenomenal things. They make families heal. They resolve disputes quicker, right? You're talking about, you save people money. You have a huge impact on people's lives, right? More so than, I think the general public understands. You're more likely to see a judge than you're going to see a congressman, right? They have direct impact on your life. And I wanted to be a judge for a very long time, and I waited for some of the older judges to retire because, again, I happen to practice in front of a lot of them, and I think that they're very, very good. So if good people don't step up to replace the judges that are retiring, then we don't have good judges, right? And I consider myself qualified. I've done quite a bit in varied areas. We talked about a few, but I've also done probate. I've done federal, international child abduction cases. I've been in bankruptcy court, federal bankruptcy court. I've defended trademarks, copyrights. Like I've done a lot. Right. And I still feel like that's never enough because being a judge is so uniquely different, right? And a lot of people that you see oftentimes are older, right? And they couldn't serve for a very, very long time. I'm looking at it as a career, right? I want to build in that role. I want to be that person, and it may sound a little conceited, but I want to be the one with a little plaque at the end that everyone knew and loved, that mentored all the kids and mentored all the young lawyers and kind of made the whole experience better, right? So that's why I want to make it better. And the only way to make it better is to be part of the system.
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. And there's nothing weird or corny about that. I mean, I think that's awesome, and it's a good goal to have. Right. Best of luck in that. And so, as a judge, what do you expect to do? I don't know what circuit you running for again. If you tell everybody,
it's the 11th Judicial Circuit, so that's in and for Miami-Dade County. Everyone, all the way from the end of the county and up north, like Aventura, all the way south to Florida City. Right? Mm-hmm. It's a county of what I think we're at 3.3 million people. Yeah, so there's a lot of varied communities, and again, I've represented people from pretty much everywhere in the county.
Okay, so it's a county elected seat. Yeah, Irwin County. What's your ballot number?
124.
124. Right. So he's 124. So you win the seat. You're up there. Like, what's the system? Do they put you in somewhere? Do you get to choose?
So there's a series of a little. And most people don't know this, but you would have to kind of get out of your cases within the next 60 days, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd have to refer the cases out. If they're cases I can complete, which I have several trials set right after the election, you finish your cases or get out of the cases, and then you go to Judge College in January.
Judge College?
Yeah, you start another school. Okay. Like we do in law, we always continue to learn. And you learn kind of the ropes. You get to observe other judges, and then you get your own courtroom. Then you come up with your policies, procedures, which one of the things I want to do is make the case management conferences that everyone does as an attorney more meaningful. Like we do in federal court, you have a scheduling order that you put together with the other side, and that's really the first opportunity to talk to the judge and say, hey, judge, these are our issues. This is where we're going, and create like a roadmap to make the cases go more smoothly, quicker, right? Get a date certain. I really don't like calendar calls. In case you don't know what your viewers and yourself may not know, calendar call is where they just put you on a wheel, right? And we see what case is going to go forward in trial that week. And that makes it, I know it's kind of the best thing that some judges have come up with. I don't like it because it creates uncertainty. So it creates a nightmare for the attorneys to coordinate experts, witnesses. Somebody may be available one day, but not the other. I like date certain. I like, this is your day. That's set in stone, barring some unforeseen kind of craziness like illness or something serious. That's the day you're going to go forward. Right. And everyone has their kind of presentations ready. right, for that day.
Okay. I read something the other day that the county clerk put that there's gonna be like a lottery of how the cases now are going to go about. Are you aware of something like that?
There's a blind filing system, right? So basically, you don't get to pick your judges, right? That preserves the appearance of neutrality and impartiality, because you're not getting the judge they may know an attorney or something like that. We don't pick who it goes to. And there's a new administrative order now that if there's related cases, they need to be moved and transferred within 30 days of that case being open. So again, I'm a courthouse rat. I live there, so I'm always abreast of all.
So, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I imagine. Okay.
I'm very familiar with the inner workings of the court.
Well, that's good. I mean, that just makes it a little easier, when you get elected, for you to be able to transition and you already know what's going on. In other words, like they say, you're going to start running right away.
Yeah, hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running, exactly. That's what I was looking for. But so that's good. Good. So and in the campaign, how's your family holding up?
Oh, I mean, it's exhausting, but it's definitely very inspiring. I've gotten to meet a lot of politicians, a lot of the community, and everyone's extremely supportive. I get tons of text messages with just pictures of the ballot with my name and it bubbled in. And it gives you a sense of accomplishment, right? And again, I still to this day don't know how to take a compliment, right? I get embarrassed, right? Because again, it's something that's super nice, right? And I'm getting better at it, though. I am getting better at, not getting quite as embarrassed when people say I'm the best thing since sliced bread, right?
But isn't that? I don't think that's allowed to take pictures of the ballot.
No,
people doing that, but it's not allowed. Which I know because that's happened to me too before. But yeah. Viewers, taking a picture of your ballot is really not allowed, even though, I'm pretty sure that Chris is not going to send it to nobody, but it's not allowed.
I got it. But it's just like when you see, and then they're just like, they want to show you, like, listen, I did it.
I supported you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
So it's been a groundswell of a lot of grassroots support. And again, support from a lot of our elected officials too. So that's nice.
And there's a nonpartisan seat, so that makes it
very diverse support.
Yeah, no, and it makes it hard. I know that for judicial candidates, it makes it hard for you to campaign because you can't attend a lot of events because of that.
If it's a party-specific event, you cannot attend. Absolutely.
And I mean, nowadays it's kind of hard to say what's not and what's it, because it's so. I mean, our town is difficult. Let's put it that way. And then you can't also ask for money either personally.
No, we can't ask for money personally. And again, it is the number one question that they ask you is Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to tell them that you absolutely cannot tell them that. It's not about the politics, right? The job is to follow the law.
Right.
If you want to change the law, go deal with your congressman.
And some people get upset about that.
They do, and you have to smile, and they have every right to be upset. That's their position, but that's the job. The job is to always maintain the appearance of neutrality and impartiality.
Yes, which I want to say to the viewers again and listeners, when they're judicial candidates, if you ask them, they can't tell you. Okay, I mean, they can get in trouble, and I mean, unfortunately, they can't. So please don't get upset with them. Okay, when it's a nonpartisan candidate, they're not allowed to say if they're what party affiliation they are.
Correct.
So don't get upset with them. That's just the way it is.
It's the way it should be. I mean, justice is blind. And it's also, our canons specifically prohibit that. So if for some reason somebody tells you their political affiliation, it's grounds to remove them from, even if they win the election, right?
Oh, wow.
So there was a case of one that we just reviewed with the JEAC, the Judicial Ethics Advisory Committee, that we all have to sit. It's recommended, strongly recommended, but I always go. And they talked about a judge that was removed for something similar, right?
Okay. So you're originally from Miami?
Born and raised.
Born and raised. What area?
I was born, believe it or not, in Northwest, 1040 Northwest 35th Avenue. I still remember the address because my mom made me memorize it. My parents were Cuban immigrants. My grandparents were the first to come here. They came here in 61 and 62. They lost everything to communism, right? So they had to come here and start from nothing. My mom's parents, my grandmother became a hairdresser and would cut hair in the back of her house. And my grandfather sold ice cream, right? And they lost all the property, everything that they built up. They were more well-to-do in Cuba. And they just, put their nose to the grindstone and started working. And then because of them, my parents got to start their own business. They sold insurance. And then I'm the first graduating doctorate for my family. right? And they all live with me because I really believe in family. Well, I live out in the Redlands now, and so I have my mom's house, and I remodeled it for her, and my brother lives with her next door, and I live in the main house with my sister and my wife and the three boys.
That's awesome. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big family guy too. I have 5 adult children, and even though they don't stay with me anymore, just the baby. Well, he's 24. He's not a baby, but
So
we're all in the same area. My son stays in Kendall in our old house.
well, then I moved to Kendall, right? So we started there, and as we moved it on up, right? Again, I still remember the government cheese blocks that we used to eat, and the peanut butter that came in a white can. That was it wasn't metal, it was paper. It had
No frills one.
It had a picture of a peanut on it. But as we worked hard and went forward, my parents bought a bigger house. We moved out to Kendall. We lived in 12345 Southwest 42nd Avenue.
Oh, wow, that's easy to remember.
Yeah, that was the address.
12345 Southwest 122nd Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's right by Greenglade.
Yeah, Village Green, and Green Licks, Licks of and it's Licks of the Meadow, that kind of area, right? And then from there, I graduated high school. I went to FIU for my undergrad for political science, and then I did my law degree, double Panther, at FIU.
Okay, what high school did you go to?
I went to Coral Park, and then when we moved over to Braddock. So I graduated from Braddock. That's where I met my wife.
All right.
I wasn't even in her class. I was in the science team.
My sister graduated from Braddock, and my daughter's graduated from Braddock.
It was a great school. I went back and I taught the band. I was a drill instructor for a while. I play musical instruments.
Okay.
I played saxophone, the oboe, piano, guitar.
Wow, so you're a man of many talents. A musical attorney.
Well, yeah, I was in the first marching band in FIU.
Maybe we should make a show, the musical,
the musical attorney.
The musical attorney, so the Lincoln lawyer or musical lawyer. There you go. Netflix, we got somebody here.
Well, I mean, yeah, it could work. I guess I haven't played an instrument in a while though. I still dabble with the piano, but I really don't have cause to play the oboe. When
it comes to sports and music, that's not me. I'm an electrician. Anything electrical, I'm the guy. But sports it just wasn't me. Growing up in New York, we didn't have that ability.
Right.
It just wasn't in.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for the trades. Again, like I said, I learned a lot from my dad. After Andrew, he started a roofing company because there was a demand for the roofing, and I did a lot of roofing with him at like 8, 9 years old.
That's a rough job, the roofing.
Yeah, we were up there ripping off shingles and laying down paper.
But you lost all your tan because usually roofers got a good tan.
Yeah, well, you get pretty cooked. You're gonna see me pretty tan after these early voting, especially out in JFK. JFK, there's no saving you from the sun. It's just full sun all day long.
There's no trees, no nothing out there.
No, some spots are better than others. I'll give you that.
So what are your other plans? Like for instance, do judges? Because I know, like when elected officials, they get to change stuff around, make new laws, ordinances. As a judge, do you get to do stuff like that or no?
Only in your division, and you can work with the chief administrative judge to kind of lobby to see if you can fix certain things, like they get more funding, for example, for family court services. We're one of 2 counties that has a family court service, right? That provides like supervised time sharing at no cost to the litigants, psychological evaluations, social investigations, individual counseling for the adults, individual counseling for the children, substance abuse evaluations. These are essential things that we need to kind of resolve these cases. And without these services, it's very difficult, right? And our model has worked so well that Broward has now implemented a similar program for the first time, right? We're kind of rubbing off on other counties on a good way of doing this. So there is a kind of a political aspect, but largely it's through the chief judge, right? And it depends on them. And we happen to have a very good chief judge, so.
Okay. Is there any particular law or something that you would like to see changed that maybe you would, if you were able to lobby to Tallahassee to change something?
Regrettably, judges cannot opine on laws and changes of law and any of that stuff. As much as I have plenty of opinions on many of these matters, right? I can't give you that, right? The idea is to be neutral.
Understood.
And if something is likely to come before me, I can give an opinion on that. But I can tell you what the law says.
Okay. Right? So. Well, okay. A lot of people that I talk to, they always talk about how the court system is backed up with so many, like either, and I don't want to say frivolous lawsuits because I don't believe that lawsuits frivolous, because it's every individual feels that their lawsuit is important or whatever the case is, right? But in the sense of that backup, how would you help fix that in your division?
we talked a little about those case management conferences. I think that's essential, right? Because each case is different, right? It's not the same thing to deal with a case that has a domestic violence component, has many minor children and multiple properties with a business, as it is to deal with somebody that has an uncontested, they got married for a month in Vegas and they want to get a divorce, right? So a lot of that is those implementation of those case management conferences, right? And giving people kind of a roadmap to finishing, right? And keeping them accountable for meeting those milestones, those goals. Obviously, life happens, right? So you can't be kind of super rigid, but you can get people to follow a track to get it resolved, right? And I think that's important. And then not only that, you have to try to make yourself available and kind of streamline the cases for what their intended purposes are. I can give you an idea. We have things called temporary relief hearings in family, right? A lot of times the attorneys, because again, you don't want to leave anything behind. You want to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
You try to make those into mini trials, and they end up being a day, 2 days. And that was never the intention of the legislature. Those were supposed to be stopgap, like Band-Aids. It's not the final outcome, but it's something to give some people some relief. Like if a spouse needs spousal support because they need to pay their bills, or dad is not being allowed to see their children and unnecessarily. To get those people in and out and get a Band-Aid there so we can get them to the right spot and minimize the damage. I think that's how we speed this up. Date certain and set expectations, right? Okay. I think that's essential. And again, to the extent possible, maybe increasing the number of judiciaries, judges that are available, right? But that's not for me. That's for the legislature and the court to do.
Well, it sounds like you're very prepared and that you have a clear path of what you want to do. Which is great to see and great to hear. So I appreciate that.
I want to make a difference. I want to make it better.
I wish more politicians were like that.
Right.
I can say that you can't, but I can say it. I understand.
I absolutely think that we can do it better, and I want to make it kind of more ad hoc. I want to leave my door open if I get to that position, that if a lawyer sees or comes up with an idea on how to make it better, reach out. Again, it takes all of us to make it better. It takes the lawyers, it takes the judges, and it takes the participants as well.
Absolutely. I take it that because your passion is family law, eventually you want to be in family court?
So, yes, I would absolutely love nothing more than to be in family law or in the unified family, which deals with domestic violence, dependency, and delinquency, and divorces, regular family.
And do you have a path to get there? Like, I don't think once you get elected, that's it. You get to run into the family court, right?
So the way our system works is that the judges with seniority get to pick where they go, right? And there's definitely a favorites amongst the judiciary of where they would prefer to be. So again, unfortunately, as a newly elected judge, you have very little say in where they put you. But that doesn't mean you can't, work your way up and move to places where people move out or don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
But again, you have little control on that. As the more seniority you have, the more control you have. But I'd be happy to be in any division. And again, if it's an area that I'm not necessarily the strongest in, part of the job is becoming as strong, if not stronger, than the attorneys.
And they cycle judges, don't they? Like from different places.
They do rotate, but again,
that's what I meant to say.
Right. If a judge likes a particular area, there's a tendency to leave that judge in that area. Right. I know that we have many of the family law judges have been there for a very long time. A lot of the civil judges have done a lot of time in civil. Mm-hmm. Generally, the judges that do criminal like to stay in criminal, right? Because there's an expertise that you develop from doing thousands of these cases day in and day out. Right, and it makes everything work smoother.
No, absolutely. So, if someone wanted, a viewer, a teenager, wanted to say, you know what, I want to become a judge someday, what track would you recommend them to go through?
I think it's probably advisable. I couldn't do it because of my personal financial reasons with my wife, my kids, and losing my dad at age 21. I had to start working. I had to start making money.
Right.
But definitely the track to pursue is going through the state attorney's office, right? You need to demonstrate some public service, right? Because doing public service outside of that is apparently not as well received, even though I think it's more valuable because you're not doing it for any type of money. You're doing it to actually be of service to the community. Right. But I definitely think that that's an advantage. Again, it's definitely another good place to gain experience. And then, like I said, become an expert in your area. Try to be as knowledgeable, if not more knowledgeable, than all the people around you. And also remember that if your aspirations are to be in the judiciary, that you got to treat people with respect, even if they don't treat you necessarily with respect. Because, again, one thing that you learn as an attorney is today they're opposing counsel. The next day they're co-counsel, right? It's case to case. And these are your colleagues and your peers. And you want to maintain a great reputation amongst your peers, because those are the people that are going to help you the day you decide that you want to be out and put yourself there for the judiciary. Right?
Okay. As we wind down, you have a website?
Yes.
Let everybody know the website, how to get a hold of you, right. And your ballot number again, so they're aware.
Absolutely. So it's Padron, the number 4, judge.com. You have some information there, some photographs of all the different events that I've done and some of the organizations that I participate in. My ballot number is 124, and you're ready to start voting starting Monday. Right?
Okay.
Monday, all the way through the 16th of August.
Yes. And why should we vote for you?
Because I think I'm the best choice. I hope you vote for me, and because of the person that I am, the experience that I hold, and I think that, again, you need a judge that's going to be there for the long haul, right? And I'm that candidate.
Okay, well, there you have it, everyone. Cristobal Padron, number 142 on your ballot.
24.
Oh, I'm sorry. 124. Repeat, 124 on your ballot.
124.
Look him up. He's a guardian. He was a guard. He still is a guardian ad litem. He's worn many hats. A father of 3 boys.
3 boys. Craziness.
3 boys. So if you want to know more about him, you go to the website. Look him up. We'll make sure that we put it out on the screen so you can go back and review this again. Everybody, Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
I appreciate you to be here. Yes, and hopefully, I don't know if when you become judge, if you're able to come on the show.
Absolutely. You just can't talk about the cases.
There you go. Okay. So I look forward to that. Everyone, again, thank you for tuning in, for viewing. We'll be on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, like always. Thank you again. I will see you next week. This is Johnny Farias at Community News.